everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we got some news going on, some good news and some bad news. So, yesterday we talked about Michigan and the surge in Michigan, the very unusual surge of Michigan, if you will. Um, Having Donald Trump scoring a victory of 7 points over Joe Biden. And this is, of course, very good. But just recently, we have just got a poll update showing Joe Biden flipping the state of Pennsylvania to winning his own native state by just 3 polls. You'll see. We have to count the one in purple because if you did not know, that one does mean a tie, meaning that both Trump and Biden win the same poll. But yeah, 3 polls technically, if you will, meaning that yes, Trump Biden has flipped Pennsylvania, but this is easily flippable. Again, this can be easily flipped back, if you will. So yes, Pennsylvania can be taken back by Trump. We just need at least two polls going for Trump, 2 Trump polls in a row in order to flip back the Keystone State. But other than that, this everything is going pretty well. Donald Trump 293 according to our polls as of right now. So today we'll be doing a video on regards to how good can Donald Trump do in the presidential election. Now, we have to recognize Donald Trump is doing better than ever before, 2016 and 2020. So he can perform and win states that he never won. Like it shows here, he is winning Nevada. That is a state that he would probably win if the election was held today. Of course, if it was an upset and Joe Biden won the state, but uh, so let's talk about that in regards to what states can Donald Trump win if he is to perform his ultra best in this election. So let's see. We are going to start off with New Hampshire. Now, New Hampshire is a state that I'm like, I don't know if Donald Trump could win New Hampshire. Because, as you know, let's see. Yes, New Hampshire. It doesn't really. Shows Donald Trump like, kind of okay, like 42% to 47%. Uh, it's not that pretty big, so I do think it most likely would be probably a tilt towards Biden if he was to do that, a tilt to Biden, if you know. So yes, I do think New Hampshire would still remain Democrat. Simply because, yeah, with the polls recently, yes. And of course, Donald Trump can pull an upset in the state of New Hampshire, and um, flip it. You'll see he's kind of rising. 42% is pretty good. Uh, Joe Biden has 47%. He could possibly flip it. Win one poll. It's possible. Here, but in regards to this, you'll see Nikki Haley is beating Joe Biden in this state because New Hampshire is a state full of neocons, and they all love Nikki Haley. So if you guys want New Hampshire to flip, Nikki Haley seems the perfect candidate to get it flipped. But then again, that's not saying that Nikki Haley will fail to flip all the swing states. So keep that in mind. There's also a good chance that Nikki Haley won't flip any swing states. New Hampshire would be a big good one to flip, in regards to the best one to flip, because that's where her ideology and her home base is. You have Sununu being the governor, well respected figure, campaigning there for her. then again, absolutely, this looks like a state that could flip for Nikki Haley. So, yes, in regards to that, yeah, I do think, doing the math here, 42, 47. Yeah, it's 5 point victory for Joe Biden. Once again, it's pretty good. But as of right now, I am going to predict that it will still remain for Donald Trump. Simply because, I mean, I can see it flip, but we haven't really, I don't know. It's kind of overwhelming, if you will. Uh, but yeah, as of right now, how about this? As of right now, we'll keep New Hampshire for Biden. Because we have to move on. Of course, Pennsylvania will flip for Donald Trump. Uh, Virginia will flip for Donald Trump here uh, for our best, Donald Trump's very best. We'll have Minnesota go for Donald Trump because I feel personally, if anyone is going to flip Minnesota, it would be Donald Trump, honestly. He is a well respected figure that has united the Republican Party in and it kind of got the Republican Party together. In Minnesota, it's the Republican Party is honestly not good. I mean, it's not as bad as Michigan, but it's not good. It's very weak. And I feel with Donald Trump, I feel that with the he could help build up the Minnesota Republican Party. Of course, you have Democrats in the metro that will totally cancel all those votes out, but the Democrats and the DFL, they're in a horrible situation right now because of the Hamas conflict. Because you have Democrats losing so many votes, so many minority votes, so many hardline liberal votes. They're all flocking to Cornel West, and we need Cornel West to pick those votes up. As much of those votes as possible. We know they're not going to go for Donald Trump. We know that's not going to be possible. So it would be very unrealistic with that to happen. However, we know that a split ticket is most likely going to benefit us, right? Um, so yes, picking up Minnesota would be in the best interests. You'll see I should say Keith Ellison, the Attorney General, who was more far left than Joe Biden, pretty much more controversial than Joe Biden, win in the state of Minnesota by 1 point. That's because he got the minority vote and he got the hardline vote also. So if without that vote being won by Keith Ellison, Jim Schultz, his opponent, would have easily won. So yes, in regards to that, it is an impressive victory. That hopefully Minnesota's 50 year half decade tenure of voting Democrat will end. Hope that's the case. But yeah, this is the best that Donald Trump can do, and I am predicting a flip for Minnesota. Um, just to let you know. Colorado, New Mexico. I think they're in for the Democratic Party, to be honest. I don't think they're going to be flipping because we tried New Mexico in 2022. It didn't really work. Unfortunately, they were too glued for the Democratic Party. We only got the closest we got to a victory in New Mexico was a Democrat victory of over 9 8 points, and that was kind of lame and very disappointing. So it really wasn't really a good close race. Oregon. Oregon would be a possible victory. I mean, we did almost flip Oregon in 2022. Um, but to be honest, I think Oregon is probably going to stick for the Democrats simply because, as you know, we have Portland. We have big cities over there. Yes, Oregon is just like New Hampshire. It's very good for gun rights, very good for low taxes and small government. However, it does not help that you have Portland out there. And Portland has a very radical far left population. You know who roams there, Antifa. And of course, Antifa is going to bully everyone to go and vote for, whatever, Cornel West or Joe Biden. So yes, it's going to be pretty hard for at least Oregon going for Donald Trump. The media there will probably be smashing Trump very hard. So yes, in my opinion, I do think that Oregon will most likely remain blue as of right now. Now back to New Hampshire. I honestly am having a hard time figuring out New Hampshire. But I'm just going to say, you know what? Comparing it to the state with Minnesota, uh, we could possibly flip back Minnesota. I don't know, but yeah, we could possibly flip back Minnesota. Uh, this is more of a realistic if Trump is to. This is the best that Trump would do. It's still pretty good. You have Trump winning 325 electoral votes. We got to remember that the liberal media will continue to barrage him. They'll continue to attack Trump over everything. You have indictments. You have impeachments, whatever. They're going to do whatever they can. The liberal media will continue to overwhelm Trump and the Trump campaign with constant propaganda and constant news stories, quote unquote, about Trump's life and all that stuff. And they're trying to prevent a Trump win. And realistically, the only real flip we got is Virginia. And Virginia would Virginia is really the only state. If Donald Trump was to pull his best, Virginia is really only the state that he could really flip. But then again, there is the possibility that he can win New Hampshire. There is the possibility that he can win Maine. I mean, Minnesota. There is the possibility that miraculously he could win Oregon. It really is a how well is Donald Trump and estimating and very well estimating Donald Trump's position in entering into this race. So anyway, I'm running out of time. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next political episode.